Okay, so so thanks, Lewis, and thanks everybody for joining. So what I'll be presenting is about the SoundCity testbed that we have, and as Lewis briefly mentioned previously, it's about crowd sensing application dataset. So so what we have in SoundCity is basically a testbed that comprises of cell phone app generated data. The main functionality of the app that we have generated is basically it detects noise around the phone using microphone sensor that is available in the phones. And further, as there are many other sensors available, we also have other kinds of data that is being generated and sent to Fiesta. I will talk about them in the next slide of what sensor information that we have and what are the quantity kinds and how we link to it. So I will not go into details of more details about the SoundCity application, but you can just browse and download and become one of the data points basically. So you can install using a web interface or the app going into App Store or Play Store, and you can install the app, go to the web interface and join Fiesta system within this SoundCity application, so that SoundCity knows that it has to send your data to Fiesta. So what all information is currently collected and sent to Fiesta is basically sound data, the proximity data, accelerometer, and speed data. So we actually collect these information and send it to Fiesta. The number currently of these the resources or devices is variable because people join and people leave, so it's kind of variable ecosystem. The SoundCity testbed is having kind of variable number of sensors, and it also depends on how many users have actually authorized us to send their data to Fiesta, because we have this privacy issues. Not everybody wants their data to be public, so it's only those people data that have specifically authorized us to send the data to Fiesta. We are sending those data to Fiesta. On top of these sensors, we of course also send the location information, keeping privacy intact. So we try to keep as much as randomizations into the system, so that people cannot be actually tracked, but because it's low number of devices right now, so of course things can be done to know who is behind. So yeah, anybody can join. So you just install the app and associate yourself to Fiesta. You go to login to soundcity.mobi and identify your device ID and associate it to Fiesta group ID, which is here as 48969393. So this is something how the Ambicity dashboard looks like. So you can actually go into go to this soundcity.mobi, click on personal, give your device identifier, and you will see all your data. You can go to the groups, and once you go to the group, you can associate yourself or remove yourself from any of the groups that you have previously joined or you want to join. So you just give your device identifier and the group identifier, so you can join. So in order to join, you need to provide this information once, and if you another time provides this information, you will be removed from that group. So your information will not be sent to Fiesta. At this moment, I think we have 3 people who have authorized us to send their data. So I urge people here also to use it and we provide the data so that everybody can use it and have their experiments in better shape. So this is basically SoundCity Testbed. Now, how we send data to Fiesta is basically a simple process. We have this data that is stored in SoundCity data store. On top we have this annotator which frequently calls SoundCity data store, logs into SoundCity, maintain the privacy, apply semantics on both resources and observation, store results, and send those results to Fiesta via either via validator plus forwarder link or through TPS link. So because in SoundCity the resources, the number of resources or devices that we have is variables, and it's very hard to maintain. So whenever a new resource joins, it directly sends the annotated version of the resource description to Fiesta. And for the observations that are produced because of this issue with mobile applications and mobile phones, and sometimes sometimes mobile phones are not working or they are not producing data, or the mobile phone is switched off. So the data is currently produced at random intervals. So there is no fixed interval at which this data is produced. But to Fiesta, we are sending this information every half an hour. So whatever observations that are collected for half an hour or between this half an hour period of time is sent to Fiesta IoT registry. We produce data in JSON-LD format or the annotations in JSON-LD format. So this is basically the whole architecture, which probably Nikos will be speaking to you in the next on the 17th day workshop. So next, this is a sample annotation graph, and the graph of the annotations. So basically everything is annotated. We follow best practices that are defined by the consortium for pushing the data. So this is for the resources, some resource, and this is basically the observation produced by one of the resource. Because of this crowdsourcing and crowd sensing aspect, we have this measurement type, basically, which is if the phone was automatically sensing the data, or if it was manually, the sensing was done manually by the user. That information is also provided, and from where the noise was coming, basically. So in the application, users can actually tag the source of the noise. Either it is from the transport or siren or something like that. So this information is also available. So that's pretty much from what we have for SoundCity. Any questions?